Let's close our eyes and go inward. And let's take 3 deep breaths and kind of like a sigh out on the exhale, just to get rid of anything from the morning. So we'll start inhale, exhale, and 2 more at our own pace. In, out, and taking 1 more of those. Awesome. So just coming into a steady rhythmic breath now. So we usually take 4 to 5 minutes just right here in the beginning, starting to get to know how we feel today. So it could be different than yesterday. It could be even different from this morning. And we're going to feel that fire energy of the summer season. So notice if you have any excess energy, or maybe this season wears you out. Just be aware. So we just had the solstice, the peak of yang energy. And actually in the Chinese calendar, the peak of summer. So we're still in summer, but now the days are going to slowly start getting shorter and shorter. But we still have lots of energy. The energy is radiating right now. So for us, that often being social and going out, having fun outside, being with people. And that can be hard right now. Being with people, maybe missing people. So just notice how you feel about the season, how it's affecting you. And we'll add a little extra yang movement today. And if you don't need that today, just taking a child's pose or lying down when needed. So taking about 1 more minute here, we're paying attention to the breath, the body, starting to become present by really feeling the inhale and exhale. Just follow the breath in, feel that pause after the inhale, exhale, follow that exhale out with the mind. Notice that other pause, and then your next cycle of breath. Good. If you'd like, you can form an intention here, and welcome if you're just coming in. We're just in our opening meditation, and we're going to focus on feeling the fire element of summer. So summer energy, more yang. We might feel like staying up later, doing more outside. So an intention maybe around compassion for yourself during this time, or whatever you think you need today. So you know yourself best. Let's place one hand over the heart center, the other hand over that first hand, and take a deep breath. We'll hold that intention. Beautiful. And then exhale, extending it out. Good. You can bring the hands down, take some breaths. And then from wherever you are, we're going to slowly make our way into hands and knees. So if you're lying down, roll to the side and come walk hands around. So we'll take some yang movement in the spine, cat and cow, which we've done before. So we can inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the gaze, exhale, rounding. And you can close the eyes here and just feel the movement if you'd like. Nice. And then if you need any organic movement, so you can sway the hips side to side, you can press back or forward, circle the hips, just anything that your body is calling you to do. You don't have to think about it, just moving rhythmically, organically. And then we have an option for a down dog. And if you don't want to do down dog at any point, take a child's pose. So we'll slowly come back. We'll all take child's pose a moment. Stretch the hands forward. Staying here or tucking your toes, lifting up. Just stretch it out. You might alternate bending the knees. And then from either down dog or coming to hands and knees, we'll step the right foot forward. We're going to take a dragon pose. You can always help that foot forward with your hand. There's no worries about it. And then this is where your blocks or books might come in if you want to place your hands on your props. Hands can be on the floor. They can be on props. And if you're really open already, you can bring hands to the thigh. But for me right now, that's a little much. So I'm going to come back down. And then we're taking only 2 minutes here. So it will take a little more effort. So that is more yang. Yin would be less effort, but we're trying to get the hips to relax. Think about them sinking down and forward. They might be up here. That's okay. Just think about that motion of the hips. Think about that gravity, the force, letting the hips sink down. It's just 1 minute here. Nice. A few more breaths. If you need to come out of this a little and go back in, that's okay too. I know it's an intense one. So we'll have a few more options in class today. So when you're ready to come out, you're either going to slide back to child's pose or cat cow, or you can press hands down, take a hamstring stretch, bringing the hips back, lifting the right toes, maybe walking the hands back. The knee can be bent here, maybe flexing the foot. Nice. And then just make your way to your down dog or child's pose. I'm going to close the windows because someone's doing yard work. Okay. All right. So same thing on the left side from hands and knees or down dog. Step the left foot. Help it forward with the hand if you need. Roll the mat under the knee or take a blanket under there if you need that. And then setting it up. Take your time. So this pose is only 2 minutes. And remember to breathe through this. So that'll help us get through this posture. Inhaling into the body. Exhale, feel the hips grounding with gravity towards the earth. Steady breath. Every exhale, let go of something, the jaw, face, shoulders. I could stand up. Let go in the shoulders here. It's 1 more minute. Remember, if you need to, you can come out of it a little and then back in. Nice. Okay, it's about 10 more breaths. Shoulders, jaw, letting go. Good. Last couple breaths. And then just starting to come out, lifting the hips. You can either slide the foot back to a child's pose or cat-cow, or you can bring the hips back, hands back, and fold over that left leg. Awesome. And then we'll come back forward. You can take your down dog over your child's pose here. And then if you're in child's pose, you're going to slide all the way forward to line the belly. If you're in down dog, you're welcome to come to a plank, maybe lower the knees and come down. Good. I'm going to move some stuff. So we're going to have an option of a couple cobra poses. And if you want to opt out, you're welcome to. And then we'll go into Sphinx pose. So we're just going to compare how they are different. So taking hands under the shoulders, and then elbows squeeze in towards the ribs. You can have the feet apart or together, and then slowly an inhale for a little baby cobra. Good. Exhale, lower, turning the cheek to the mat. And then one more, we'll bring the head forward again. Contracting the legs and inhale up. Just enough that maybe you could even lift the fingertips for a moment. Put them back down. Inhale. Exhale down, other cheek to the mat, opposite side. And then finally coming into Sphinx. Well, actually, let's windshield wiper the legs first so you can bend knees and windshield wiper. Loosen up your low back first. And then we'll take our Sphinx pose. So feet, just see where they land. They might be far apart. They might be a little closer. So we come up and then bring the elbows forward, coming into Sphinx pose. So elbows are a little forward of the shoulders or maybe right under them. And time the pose here. So about 4 minutes. Breathing here. So there's a little bit of yang in this pose as well, with the chest lifted, head lifted towards the sky. A little bit of effort in the upper body to hold us here. But again, we want to relax shoulders and then focusing in that lower back. Maybe some compression in the low spine. Just taking your steady breaths. Modify as you need to. You can come up higher, taking a seal pose. You can come lower by putting a bolster under your chest and maybe folding your arms over it. You could support your head in the hands if you'd like. So just a few things. Feeling that upward sensation of the inhale, the downward sensation of the exhale. Inhale is upward, and then exhale downward, sinking towards the earth, feeling gravity's effects. You can ground the hips, the knees, maybe the tops of the thighs here. Halfway through, just check in where you feel this. That's where you want to go and explore and breathe into those areas of a little tension, Maybe a little intensity there. And there's lots of extra sounds here, so sorry about that. Good. So notice what the eyes are doing. They might want to close, maybe looking downward. It's more yin to kind of ground the eyes or close them going inward, shutting out the external. Just feeling what's happening in your body, mind, and spirit. We have one more minute. Last few breaths here. And then you're going to take your time coming out. So just slowly unroll the spine down. And then we're going to feel this stillness. Keep focusing in that low back mentally. What does it feel like? So I feel kind of like a lightness in the low back. You might feel something else. Could be heaviness. It could be pulsing sensation. Just as important is the space between the poses. And then let's finally bend knees, do the windshield wiper. And then taking a closed knee child's pose, just go really slow. So hands under shoulders, using a little strength to lift up and stretching back. Good. So just staying here about 1 minute. Let the low back really let out and release. You can stay in child's pose or come up for a few of those cat cows. If you need to stretch it out in down dog, take that. If you need rest, take that. And then let's come to hands and knees. We're going to take thread the needle, opening the shoulder. So a little more yawn stretch, working with the upper body. Inhale, slowly reaching up with the right hand. Exhale, threading it underneath. So shoulder and head come down, or you bring prop underneath. Bring the floor closer to you. So left arm can stay down. You can bring it to that low back. Come on, bring it behind. Beautiful. So we'll stay in this for 3 minutes. Always listen to your body, being okay with whatever it needs today. So bring that compassionate acceptance to your body. It's your shape. You make the shape fit your body, not forcing your body into the shape. So a more yin attitude. Just always being pretty careful with those shoulders, not going too far. And just see, you target kind of what you want in this pose. So it can be more of a shoulder opener in the left side. It can be a closed shoulder stretch on the right. It might be a twist in the upper spine, middle spine. That's kind of what I'm getting, which I love. Especially a nice twist after doing Sphinx and the back bends can be really, really feel good. So make this feel good to you. Notice how the breath feels, posture. It'll feel different in each of them. We have about 1 minute. If your arm's behind you, you can keep it, or maybe you want to bring it back in the front. Few more breaths. Nice. Take another complete inhale. Exhale. We're going to bring that left hand back next to the head and then press it down to lift up. And you can lift the right arm again if you'd like. You can even keep it here a few breaths. Beautiful inhale. Exhale, bring it down. Cat, cow, or child's pose. And then coming hands and knees, we're going to do the other side. So right hand presses down. Inhale, lift left. Exhale, diving the arm under. Right hand does whatever you need. So many options with that. You can even walk it forward, let it rest here, bring it back. If it reaches the other hip or crease, bring it all the way around. So not all the poses would feel what we might say like feel good. Sometimes it's more like that intensity, that edge. I think for this one, you could let it feel good, nice and stretchy. If you have a little more effort behind it, that's okay today. So we're starting out doing a little more effort and a little more yang stuff, and then we're going to be winding things down for the second half. Halfway through this, remember you're breathing into those spaces of the body where you're really feeling this, into that stretch. And one more minute here. A few more breaths here. Nice. And then bringing the right hand back next to the face, we'll press it down. Inhale, reach up. If you want to stay up here for 3 breaths, you can. Open twist. And then bringing it back down, you can take either lying on your front or take another child's pose. And then slowly coming up to a seated position. We're going to take a seated butterfly. You can also recline in your butterfly, laying down. So it's feet together, knees apart. You can place props underneath your knees or thighs, or just one side is okay. Our sides are different. If you need a prop to put on your foot or to pile up stuff, we're going to go forward. So inhaling. And then if it's safe for your spine, no injuries, you can rest. Starting to drop the head. So think of that whole spine, even the neck, rounding and curling. Slowly, maybe you bring your head onto a prop. You might not be down this far. You might be up here. Just go with your body and what it needs. Letting go of any expectations about how this should feel, look, anything. Nice opening in the hips. Forward bending in the spine. So very much inward. Really look around too much. That's a good thing. You can really feel and listen to yourself. And I definitely understand how it can be difficult to just sit with ourselves, our thoughts, and our bodies. So we bring in that presence, each inhale coming into this very moment, feeling this body in this moment in time. This moment will never be the same as any other. And we get to share this time, this moment together. So fire element, all about connection, connection with others. Oneness, which we really think about a lot in yoga. That true self, which we all have. Divine spark. So you can always fall deeper in the pose. You might notice that as things loosen up, you're able to do that. You might notice the opposite. As things loosen up, it might be a little too much. You might need to back off. So you got to listen to your body. And I do that a lot, but it's a good reminder. There's no contest about how deep can you go. Does not matter. Even if yesterday you were deeper, it does not matter. It's a good way to gauge how we're feeling. Each time we come to our mats, we can figure it out, giving ourselves compassion. And one more minute here. Can you be really present, just knowing that? Feel how you're supported by the earth. If your hands are maybe on the ground, your seat, lateral sides of the legs or ankles, the feet, and gravity is just helping you sink deeper. Dropping the head one more time, taking one more breath. And we'll come out, so either pressing into a prop or the ground. You can start lifting the spine, walking hands back towards you, just coming up. If you want to take cross leg or sit a different way, just a moment, breathe. Just let that spine reorganize the tissues, the fluids, the energy. And then staying here, or we can take an upward facing table. So feet come to the ground. Knees are bent, hands are behind us with the fingers pointing forward and then lifting hips up. Some more of a young stretch here, reaching towards the sky, the head, hips are up. You can come down at any point. If it's safe, you can drop the neck back. Let's inhale, hips lift. Exhale down. Awesome. And then let's see, we're gonna roll over the knees and do our hands and knees or down dog. So we'll have a couple more chances for down dog if you want to do it. And then taking our favorite swan pose, so that right knee towards the right wrist, left foot kind of towards the left hip, maybe scooting back in that left leg. So when you're in this upright swan, your hands, arms are supporting you. And then when you come down, you can use a prop to support the chest. Arms can just relax. So I like a bolster. You can use a big cushion or two pillows. And then just gently coming down, you can build something to kind of stay up more. You can fold arms. If you don't like this one, or if it's not working out today, just flip it over on the back. We always have this option, crossing the right ankle over the left thigh and then pulling it in with the hand. You can also take, I have a strap here, but you can use a bathrobe tie, a necktie, whatever you need, a towel. Just wrap it around. Let the shoulders and head relax, and you can gently pull, but with little effort, not much. And that's a really nice one. You always have that option, even if you're able to do the other one. So this one will be a juicy stretch for a total of 5 minutes. If you feel like a leg is falling asleep, you'll want to come out of that pose. If there's a little, okay, just kind of explore it. You'll know what's safe. Your body lets you know. Nothing sharp or shooting or electrical feeling. And you don't exactly want to do a fine line between stretching in pain. You don't want it to be that close. So back off. You might, if you're what's known as a sensation chaser, you're kind of like, I gotta get that deep, deep stretch here. Just back off a little bit. It's enough. You can always notice how much effort you're making and then dial it back. You might slow the breath at this point. Calming our nervous system. Just observe, notice any kind of fidgeting or kind of wanting to move. That's okay. Observe that and then decide what you need. Definitely more than halfway there. We're pretty deep in the notice what's happening and where it's happening. We're starting to pinpoint those exact little areas that we want to start opening more. Visualize that breath going right to it. About 10 more breaths on this. Nice. Last couple of breaths. When you're ready, out. So slowly lift up, make your way. You need to scoot the left leg forward, maybe tuck the toes, bring the knee forward. Right meets left. And then your last option for a down dog, or just lie on your belly, take rest. If you need, you can stretch it out one more time. Nice. We're going to go ahead and come into it from hands and knees or down dog and take the left knee forward, scooting the right leg back. Nice. You don't have to worry about the back leg being totally in the center. It doesn't really matter too much. You can put something under this hip if you need to as well. Remember, this side is different. One of my favorite teachers says the hips are siblings, not identical twins. And I really love that because they really are different from side to side. You can descend at any point if you propping up as you need to. Remember, there's the option on our backs. I'll show it from the side again. So left ankle goes over the right thigh, lifting up the right foot and then grabbing behind. Actually, it's in front, grabbing in front. Or taking a strap or something, wrap it around, and you can start to pull any weirdness in the hip. You can flex that left foot more and kind of push the knee away from you. Not too much effort in the elbows or on the arms and shoulders. That's why I'd love it if the shoulders are on the ground. So whichever variation you're in, we're getting into that left hip. Breathe into it. Just go inward and ask yourself, how do I feel? Use your yoga practice to answer that question. And you know how to treat yourself the rest of the day. So if you're feeling down or anxious or anything like that, be really kind to yourself, like you should be anyway, but maybe extra gentle. Don't be so hard on yourself. Allow for self-care. You're already doing one good thing for yourself today. Maybe you can do another thing later. Notice any emotions that come up when we're working in the hips. We hold a lot there. There can be stuff from deep down that we don't even realize what it is. Sometimes we'll have an emotional release in our practice and not really know why, but know that we feel lighter afterwards. So if that's you today, you can allow that. Just allow yourself to be just how you are. And exhale, surrendering to the earth, letting the earth hold you. An optional last minute here. A few more breaths. Beautiful. One more. And then we'll slowly come out. You can press into the ground or the props to lift out, up and out. If you have something under left hip, you can take it out. And then this time we're going to lean into that left hip, grab the right leg, swing it around, and we'll come down onto the back. Finally on our backs, we'll be laying around on the ground the rest of class. Just see how the ground feels beneath you. We have a pose left on each side. So let's take our reclining hat. I'm getting a side bend today. So let's bend our knees, feet to the ground and scoot hips right. And then you can drop the legs. Let them go over to that left corner of the mat or towards it. It doesn't have to go right to it. If you want to cross ankle, you can, and then arms come overhead and kind of scoot them, those shoulders to the left. You need to hold on to the opposite wrist or hand. That can feel nice. If your right hip's off the mat and you're kind of like straining here, your legs are probably to the left a little too far, so you can bring them back. Let that right hip ground itself. Good. So just cooling things down. Definitely totally yin pose. Let go of all effort. Relax those hips and shoulders. Bringing some stillness here, or maybe you're still adjusting. That breath guiding you, especially as you move in and out of poses. Maybe you notice what your energy is like now. So it could be a bit calmer. I'm gonna calm down that fire. Just think about cooling energy coming in through the nose. Exhale any internal heat. About one more minute on this side. A few more breaths here. When you're ready, let's come out of the pose. You can let go from the legs and bring them back to the center. Scooting shoulders back. Just bring the spine to neutral in the center of the mat. And take breaths. And then when you're ready, you'll set up the other side. So to the left, Relaxing legs down, sliding them to the right, and then taking maybe a cross at ankles. See how the hips are first. Then bringing arms overhead. You might not even have to move shoulders at all. You might already feel that long stretch. If you'd like a little more, need a little more, walking them over. So a half moon shape. Take your time to get to the stillness. As we know, that it's body a good minute, minute and a half to do this. The sun shines down, and its image reflects in 1,000 different pots filled with water. The reflections are many, but they are each reflecting the same sun. Similarly, when we come to know who we truly are, we will see ourselves in all people. It's one more minute. Last pose, last minute. Can you be as present as possible with your breath, your body, this moment? Few more breaths. And please slowly make your way out of this pose. Come back to the spine, being neutral in the center. And you can stretch out for final relaxation, or if you need any little movement first, if you want to bring knees into the chest and hug them, rock side to side, happy baby, anything like that. So any last movements or stretches. And then when you're ready, go to your final relaxation pose, what's most comfortable for you. Let your eyes close and allow the body, mind, and spirit to absorb this practice that you've done today. So just starting to bring yourself back if you've drifted off. Take 3 deep breaths just like the beginning. So inhale. 2 more in. And 1 more inhale. Exhale. Awesome. Starting to move fingers and toes, just reawakening the body. If you want to circle wrists and ankles, turn the head side to side really slow. Or even stretch the arms out or be. And then you'll slowly start to bend your knees, roll to the side body. Take a breath. And we'll press up to our comfortable seat to seal our practice together. Bringing the hands together at the heart center with gratitude. May all beings be free of fear and harm. May we all be happy just the way we are. May we be at peace with whatever comes. And may we all live gently in the softness of our own hearts. Namaste.